Hi everyone, you're very welcome to our channel NarcCon today, where we're going to delve into a question a lot of people have in relation to narcissists, and that means people that have the narcissistic personality disorder. Why does the narcissist hate me? Like, I've done everything I possibly can for the narcissist. I really love the narcissist. This is particularly in the early stages where we're still trauma bonded to the narcissist, maybe after a discard. It can be a family member as well, it can be a friend that have just given you the boot and don't want anything else to do with you and suddenly start talking bad about you. And you're scratching your head and going, I don't understand this. And in actual fact, you're not meant to understand this, because if we're trying to figure out why the narcissist does things from an ordered personality, you, I, most of the world that has a normal human, imperfectly perfect, ordered personality, and that we think alike to a certain degree. The narcissist has, by definition, a disordered personality. So they think totally differently. To understand questions that we ask of this nature, we have to go into how the narcissist thinks and look at the world through the lenses of their eyes and their mainframe computer brain and their personality disorder. So healing is so expedited when we understand what we were dealing with, because it's a whole different perspective. It's a whole different ballgame. And we can understand then how we interacted with this person, believing that they thought like us. And it's a game changer. It's mind-blowing when we really get to grips, when it really sinks in how a narcissist thinks. And that's what this channel is all about. And I apologize for my co-producer if there's any heavy breathing going on. It's not me. We've had a great swim this morning and a great walk, and we're pretty collapsed over there. So that's just a little addendum. Okay, I'm going to give 10 reasons why the narcissist might hate you. And just before I do that, I'd like to have a little tweak or a little look at the narcissist perspective. When the narcissism developed into something unhealthy, perhaps genetically inherited, or a combination of genetics and a traumatic childhood, the narcissist decided to be the person that was traumatizing them. They decided, oh, that person's in control, I'm going to be like them. So instead of looking at maybe some of the other role models they had around, like normal people would do or empathic people would do, and deciding, how can I fix this, or how can I look at this in a fair way, or I believe that I'm doing good, but that person's just a very angry person, this person over here isn't. So the narcissism is born out of thinking that the controlling adult is the winner, and they base their personality and the fake mask that they create for the world to defend the inner small child is in that vein. It is built around negativity. It's built around hate, jealousy, feeling that I should have that and you shouldn't have that. It's built around control. It's built around forceful taking and forceful controlling of another person. So their love model is really different. Their love model is, I love you if you can give me what I need. It's not from a normal perspective. So with that understood, let's get into the things and reasons narcissists hate us. We've had maybe a breakup with a narcissist, and one of the things to look at, and people kind of don't take the objectivity that they need, because probably they don't know about narcissists and the narcissistic personality disorder, etc. But if you look back on your breakup, normal breakups don't come out with all these reasons that a narcissist might hate you. Normal people don't want to decimate the other person that they've purported to love in a relationship. They don't just go and tell their partner that they once loved, you're a load of crap and nobody likes you. This is like a childish, immature schoolboy or girl getting annoyed at another person and coming out with all these ridiculous things, really cruel things, and talking about people, talking about their exes behind their back and the smear campaign. That's not normal. There is no way in God's earthly world that that's normal. These plonkers that are doing this to other people are disgusting. So that's the way they often and normally leave relationships. Now, you can get the other people, for want of a better term, you can get the other ones that do the clever old discard where they say, let's be friends. I love you, but I'm just not in love with you. Let's have a bit of space. And they go off and, spend time with someone else and have a few kicks and then come back to you and say, well, I made a mistake. That kind of crap. So you do get that kind of a discard as well, where they don't actually tell you they hate you, but they show you that they hate you by disrespecting you, by going off with someone else, and by lying to you about what they're doing. So, 10 reasons that the narcissist hates you. 1, people normally like you and gravitate towards you. And I'm not saying that people won't like the narcissist when they put a nice enough mask out there. Some of them are clever enough to get people to like them, but they have to work hard at it. And they know they have to work hard at it because they're manipulating to get those people to like them. They're putting up a front, and that takes effort. They're pretending to be someone that they're not. But you go along and in the narcissist's mind, your ridiculously crazy way, where you kind of are kind to people and genuinely like them and are genuinely concerned when somebody else is upset. And there are people going like you. And you're stupid. Like you don't know, that people are going to take advantage of you because you're kind to them. You're living your life in a stupid, naive way. The narcissist thinks this because they're manipulating you and you're falling for their manipulations initially. So the fact that your stupid old way of being an empathic human being works really makes them hate you and envious of you, that something like this could come to you so easily. I'm going on to the second point now, but it's just come to me again. If a narcissist hates you, that's a really good sign. That is a really good sign, and I'll get to that towards the end. And I know people that want the narcissist to come back to them maybe are watching this podcast to figure out why the narcissist hates you or why the narcissist hates me, because if I can rectify those things, then the narcissist might come back to me. So stick with it, listen to the end, because I'm hoping by the end you might not want the narcissist to come back to you, even though it doesn't happen overnight if you're still trauma bonded. But get to know who the narcissist is better, and that trauma bond has much less chance of sucking you back in. 2, you held them accountable. If you held a narcissist accountable for something that they did, or said, look, I want to talk to you about how our relationship is going. I don't feel that this is fair. I'd like to work something out and I'd like to compromise. Could you do this better and I'll do that better? That's a big no-no. That's actually criticizing the narcissist by holding them accountable. So the narcissist has to be omnipotent, perfect, nothing ever wrong with them. So your critique of them is a real threat to them, is a real threat to the mask, because the mask is shaky. It's not stable. It's not built on strong foundations. And it's literally you going up and pushing it, and it's going, whoa, And it has to right itself by firing back at you and hating you and putting you down and telling you, don't you dare do that to me again. How dare you, you inferior thing. That would, holding a narcissist accountable, would engender hate and rage in the narcissist, because that is basically what the mask is built on. It's built on vitriol, it's built on violence, it's built on trauma, it's built on the manifestation of the narcissist's abuser in young life and the narcissist taking on that mantle and role. So the narcissist is just doing what they perceive and learn to be the best way to live their lives. Number 3, you know, when you're with the narcissist, this is normally now in an intimate relationship, and the narcissist will have tried to isolate you from friends and family and any of your support system, because by doing so makes you more controllable and dependent on the narcissist. However, you may have had a very strong bond with your family or with your friends or with the hobby or something that you really like to do, and the narcissist is not gaining traction in being able to keep you away from that. Maybe in the initial love bomb stages where, you know, you were so head over heels in love with the narcissist that you gave those things up for a while, you didn't see your family as much, but you're beginning to miss it, you're beginning to miss them. And the narcissist hasn't quite seeped in to eradicate your identity and who you are at this stage. So the narcissist hates you because you won't give up your family, or you won't give up whatever else we mentioned there a few minutes ago. So that is a threat to the narcissist again, because they need you 110% of the time. They need you to totally buy into them so that they can control you and that they will get the full value of your services, your admiration, everything you have to offer. They're not interested in sharing your resources. So when you, in their mind, refuse to give them everything they want by being a traitor and going to see your family or to do whatever you do normally, they start to hate you. They start to hate you and see you as a traitor. Remember, they have black and white thinking. So when that seed starts, and you know, you're doing something that's healthy and normal. So another reason the narcissist hates you is because you're doing something that's healthy and normal by staying in touch with the people you love. Number 4, this old button, or whatever you'd like to call it, pops up in every relationship. With a narcissist, this is a big no-no, particularly if they have come to you, if they have seen maybe 3 things out of the 10 things or the 5 things they would look for in an ideal supply source. Maybe one of them was your finances. Maybe one of them was that you were in a better position financially. So, of course they want what you have, and they want you to support them, to pay their bills, to pay their debts, to take financial responsibility. But they don't want to acknowledge that you're doing that to anyone else or to you. So what's yours is theirs, and what's theirs is theirs, not yours. If that riddle makes sense. So if you look for financial equality, let's sit down and discuss this. You know, the contributions. It is so weird, but when you're trying to have even a facts and figures talk with a narcissist, there is a mental block there. The narcissism blocks some function of the brain. And leave in the comments if you've come up against this and you're perplexed and you're going, but the facts and figures are there. How can you argue with them? They will put some spin on the facts and figures so that it's beneficial to them. Even to the extent of saying, supposing you had income from where you lived or something that you'd always had. They move into your house. It's then their joint income, your joint income. So that's not included in the financial talk, even though they're making a claim on that that's not rightfully theirs. That kind of thing. And they'll kind of put a spin on it and say, even if you're bringing facts up from 6 months ago saying, well, I paid for that and I paid for that. I say, no, you didn't. I say, well, I did. It's on the statement. No. You paid for that and I paid for something else. I said, what else? And you, no. So that's the type of thing they'll hate you for when you stop literally being their ATM, being their bank resource. They will feel deprived. They'll feel you're going against them. They will project onto you all the things that they are, that you're only out for money, that you're all money orientated, even when you've been financially abused and you're trying to get equality. Number 5, they'll hate you. The narcissist will hate you. Maybe because you believe in God. And that's going to save you. That's going to save you. I mean, if we're practicing, and I encompass all religions in this, if we're practicing living a good way of life, it can initially get us into trouble because we're giving too much fairness to the other person, to the narcissist, and we're introspecting too much, and we're too humble, and we're looking for ways to improve ourselves. So initially we fall into a trap. But if we really believe in God and believe that God loves us and doesn't want us to be abused, and God would ask us to love ourselves like we would love another person, that's an interesting one. Because if you saw your friend being treated the way you're being treated, would you say that that's right? It's always an interesting one to ask a person who is taking a lot of abuse, who has a high threshold for abuse. If their friend came and told them what was happening to them, how would they view it? They love their friend. They don't want that for their friend. So, in my opinion, God's love is the same for everyone. So if that's not good enough for your friend, it's not good enough for you. And it's not respecting your own divinity and your own creation. God created us all equal. He doesn't want anyone to suffer. He doesn't even want the narcissist to suffer. But the narcissist has chosen this awful way of living, and no amount of talking to a narcissist, because of their different way of thinking, will change unless they want to change. And their narcissism is so set, and other people believe that they have, and I suppose I do myself, that they have a dark side, and that's grown and it's taken over, and it's very difficult to reverse. But that's getting off track. But a narcissist, if they feel that God's in their way and that you believe in God too much to come right over to the dark side, then that's a big threat to them, and that's a reason to hate you, because you love somebody, be it God, more than them, and they believe that they're omnipotent. They believe they're godlike. They believe you should worship them. They believe you should worship the ego, and they believe that their way is right. So that's a big one to think about in relation to, maybe wanting a narcissist back. What are you prepared to give up? Are you prepared to give up everything to be smashed into the ground because this person lives this way? Number 6, you ask them to do their share of the work. They'll hate you for that, because by implication, you're saying that they're not doing their share of the work. And that's a critique. That's a criticism. How dare you? How dare you criticize them? They shouldn't have to work. This is where the entitlement comes back in. Mr. and Mrs. Narcissist expect to be served. And you should know your place. And asking them to do menial tasks, particularly with some narcissists, How very dare you? How very dare you? That's a critique, and that's the start of the hate seed, as I would call it. And you know, all these things combined can build up a good bit of resentment and hate and anger in a narcissist. It doesn't take much. Number 7, why does the narcissist hate me? You wouldn't sign your house over to them. You had enough wherewithal, enough respect for yourself, or you weren't conned by a narcissist. And if you were conned by a narcissist, all I can say to you is they're very good at it. They'll give you every reason under the sun why you should do something. And a lot of the reasons they'll give you make a lot of sense. You know, they'll come up with schemes like, well, for tax reasons, you know, we're going to be together forever. We're a couple. It would be better for you not to have this or I to have that. And it makes sense at the time. And you believe they love you and you don't know about the narcissistic personality disorder. So do not kick yourself or blame yourself if you've done that. Come from the place you're in now to make your life's journey so much better. But again, if you didn't do something of that nature or go into business with them or fund them or, you know, again, it's the financial thing, but if they had an agenda and one of the agendas was that you were to go into business or sign your house over or whatever, and you refused, ooh, that's definitely a reason to hate you. Number 8, they'll hate you if you get sick. Because, and this is again, schoolyard stuff, infant stuff, it's infantile. If you get sick and can't look after them, and you actually need them to look after you, that's like a 4-year-old being told they have to look after their mum or their dad or their sister or whatever. It's just not going to happen. They feel you've let them down. Why did you get sick? You should have looked after yourself better. It's all your fault. You wouldn't have got sick if you didn't blah, blah, blah. And it goes on to such an extent. So they blame you for getting sick. They give you a hard time for getting sick. They can leave you for getting sick. But they definitely hate you for getting sick. Number 9, and we're just coming to the very final 10th one, which is the main reason they hate you. Well, if you left them, notwithstanding now that they were doing all these bad things to you and maybe even cheated on you, you know that if they cheated on you, it's your fault. I jest. They will blame you for them cheating on you. That's a whole nother podcast. But if you actually left them, how very dare you again? Why would you leave someone that's so amazing? And no matter what you say, remember, they're not going to be accountable. They're totally entitled. Their narcissism tells them they are amazing. You had the audacity to reject this amazing human being. Of course, they're going to hate you. You idiot is what they think. How could anybody leave me? And I don't want you anyway. It's again infantile stuff. And the 10th, and the accumulation or the culmination of all the reasons put together, and there are many, many, many more reasons why a narcissist will hate you, and you don't have to do anything even for them to hate you. It's just maybe they see someone they think is better than you, so they hate you for holding them back from someone who's better than you. But the main, in their mind, better than you, the main reason is in a relationship where a narcissist starts to devalue and eventually discards, and you're put into the bad corner where you have to sit there and feel sorry for yourself because you did so many bad things to the narcissist. You basically got stronger. You basically stood up for your healthy self. You basically understood that what was happening to you was abuse, was emotional, psychological, maybe physical, definitely spiritual, destruction of you and against you. So you did the reasonable thing in the relationship and you asked for communication, you wanted to voice your concerns, you started to put boundaries in, and it was all just too damn much for the narcissist because you threatened their control. And they had decided in life that they were going to be the controller, not the controlled. And any attempt, even the most minuscule, even the attempt at compromise, all threatens their control. You are not allowed to have an opinion, to have an identity, to have a spiritual attachment to anyone other than the narcissist. You are an extension of the narcissist that is meant to do what the narcissist says. So, for instance, you're an arm of the narcissist. You do things for the narcissist. Now imagine if the narcissist says to the arm, pick this up for me, and the arm goes, this is a funny one. That's problematic for a narcissist. The narcissist says, we're going to drink tea, and the arm goes over the narcissist's head. That is literally very, very simplistic analogy of you annoying the narcissist. And then if the arm is told to pick up a cushion and instead it hits the narcissist across the face, well, that's a threat to their control. They can't control that arm. They don't know what that arm is going to do. And that arm is definitely not doing what they need it to do, and it's causing them a lot of problems. What will the arm do next? So essentially, narcissists, it has to be easy for them to control people so that they feel stable and secure, so the mask stays relatively stable. And if you're questioning the mask, you're literally questioning the existence of the narcissist. You're not believing the mask that they're presenting to you. You're questioning it. And it's like you're taking bits off the mask by doing that. And if you take too many bits off the mask, there's nothing there. There's nothing inside. There's no stability. So you're threatening their protective device, you're threatening their offensive device, and you're threatening their very existence. That's why they have to hate. They have to hate you. If they hate you, you're wrong and they're right. It's as simple as that. So if you are in the unfortunate trauma bond where you actually want the narcissist to come back and you don't want them to hate you, of course there are so many things you can do, but you would have to actually lie down and be a doormat for the narcissist. And if you wonder why so many people can actually stay in long-term relations with a narcissist, I promise you that is a horrible relationship. And please, if anyone is in a long-term intimate relationship with a narcissist, please tell our community, that it is not what it appears on the outside or what the narcissist presents to the world. That the narcissist hates their partner for so long and gives them such a hard time, but needs that relationship to be in place for part of the mask for whatever the heck they're doing in the outside world. And anyone that is in a long-term relationship, I hope you're working on an exit plan. Please God, you will get out because you deserve a life. So guys, that's it from us today. Any number of reasons a narcissist hates you. Can you please actually as well, if you could help, if the content was of any value to you, could you like, share, and of course subscribe? As all content creators say, it's absolutely wonderful to get your support. We need your support to keep doing what we're doing, and I appreciate you very much. So from himself and myself, we will see you again soon. Take very good care of yourselves in the meantime.